we were all up in the newsroom. We spent a lot of time on this, but it was just a tremendous effort. ColonialSportsNetwork.com.
Got a lot of great content on there. Got to check it out. All the hard work you guys did.
And speaking of great content, our Garrett Roberts interviewed Richard Zapp, who's actually the coach of the RMU esports team. And he just had a quick little interview with him. So just take a quick look at that.
Of athletics is changing around RMU, with esports entering the ranks of the RMU club sports. Rather than jerseys and gear, these competitors are using screen names and avatars to make a name for themselves and compete with other colleges. For RMU, the leader in esports training is Richard Zapp, head coach of the new esports department.
My esports experience came back from about 15 years, mostly through trading card games where I've had a lot of success. Ranked top 10 in a couple different games over the years.
Zapp first found his competitive drive in trading card games. Placing in the top 10 for Kaijudo, a spin-off of the Duel Masters series, Zapp quickly made a name for himself in competitions. After his success, he began his career in coaching.
About a little over a year ago, I had a couple peers and teammates that I've worked with that we wanted to give back out to the community, so we started a Patreon program where we do regular coaching and mentorship.
The teams quickly warmed up to Zapp as a leader, making him a member of the culture in the esports room. Rather than having the team act independently, he trained with the players and learned each of their specialties and quirks. Along the way, he became a closer mentor with the players.
And to be a witty double entendre, coming from the Pokemon Zapdos from the first generation, but also I'm a junior, so Zap 2, Zapdos, Zap Junior. I thought I was witty. People liked it more than I thought. I remember I had an argument with, not an argument, but a conversation with some of the students where I was trying to decide if I wanted Coach Zap or Zapdos on my jersey, and then they insisted Zapdos because it was that rad.
Zapp doesn't hope to just coach a team and receive a paycheck. Instead, he wants to create a program that surpasses the competition and pushes the Colonials further than ever before.
Over the next 5 years, my goal is to make Robert Morris University the premier school for esports in Western Pennsylvania.
For Colonial Sports Network, I'm Garrett Roberts.
Hey, Garrett, you can find more from Garrett on Humans of RMU at RMU-CenturyMedia.com. And as John said, we are proud to introduce our new sports website in partnership with Century Media called Colonial Sports Network. It's your new home for all things RMU sports all the time. Coming up after the break, Century Media's own Michael Delahente will be talking with John Hanna about the Oscars coming up this weekend here on RMU Focus. Stay tuned.
At school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Welcome back to RMU Focus. This week at Robert Morris, multiple different events were held on campus. On Tuesday night, the Society of Collegiate Journalists held their annual meeting in the Century Media Newsroom. And on the same day, Delta Zeta hosted their tabling for February events and Rose Ball in the 3rd floor rotunda. And finally, last Friday, the Tabletop Club hosted Werewolves Night in the Yorktown Lounge to play games. Now let's go over to John Hanna. John, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Austin. I'm here now with Mike Delahanty. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, John.
So, obviously, you're here to talk about the Oscars.
Absolutely. It's probably, other than the CMAs, the award show I am most excited for throughout the year.
Now, just some predictions. Who is your pick for Best Actor? I know there's a lot of great names.
There's
on
so
here.
many great ones in this category, but I have to go with Joaquin Phoenix. I really don't feel like anyone else deserves it more than him. Playing this role, getting as thin as he did for this role, looking almost sickly for the role of the Joker, I think no one else deserves it more than Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I like Leonardo DiCaprio on that because I actually didn't see Joker. I know crime, but but I think DiCaprio. It's going to be close between them.
Absolutely.
Now, Best Actress, going over to the female side now.
Actress, there's also so many great ones in this category too, but I have to go with Charlize Theron in Bombshell. I mean, the way she portrays Megyn Kelly is absolutely amazing, and I feel like she deserves it more than. Unfortunately, I was disappointed with Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, so I don't feel like she deserves it as much as Charlize Theron.
I was just about to ask you about that because I knew you saw Marriage Story.
Wasn't a fan. It felt more like a student film than a Hollywood film, and I really expected more from Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson.
And then going on from the people in front of the camera to behind the scenes, who is your pick for Best Director?
It's either going to be, going back to Joker, Todd Phillips. He did something completely different. He took something that's not going to be connected to anything else, which is very, very different in the way Hollywood's making films right now. Yeah. And something else is, I think Shawn Mendes definitely deserves it too. He did something.
If you want to talk about completely
totally cool.
different, that is different. 1917.
1917 was so amazing. I've seen it twice. Love it. I'm going to go with Shawn Mendes.
And then going from that, you're going with
Mendes.
Todd Phillips, or who are you going with? 1917.
Mendes.
Okay. And then going from that to Best Cinematography, who's your pick for that?
Best cinematography has to go to 1917 too. Taken in one shot, or made to look like one shot. I watched a video on the way they did this, and it's fantastic the way they did it, John.
And finally, obviously you've given a lot of praise to 1917 so far, but there are a lot of nominees for the Best Picture.
For Best Picture.
What is your pick for that one?
I want to say 1917, but I'm not going to. It's the movie I've seen more recently, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I feel like Quentin Tarantino did something completely different here. It didn't feel like any of his other movies like Pulp Fiction or Kill Bill. It felt like something totally different from him, and I really liked it.
All right, well, thank you, Mike.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. And for all the rest of all your movies, all your film, A&E, and news stories, stay to RMUCentralMedia.com. And coming up after the break, Austin is going to, or Logan, our own RMU Central Media's digital content director, Logan Carney, has recently reviewed the new season of BoJack Horseman. So stay tuned here on RMU Focus.
Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
I was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, Do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to RMU Focus. RMU Century Media DCD Logan Carney has a review of BoJack Horseman for us. Let's take a look at what Logan has to say. All right. Well, Logan must have had some not so interesting things to say, or maybe he did, but we can't see it anyway.
I know Logan is a person, he loves BoJack Horseman. He never stops talking about it.
We know how much Logan loves TV with the
He
James
almost-
Bond movie marathon that
Yes.
he's always talking about.
Yes. And then, but what do we have coming up after the break?
Yes, John. So now, coming up after the break, I will be sitting down with Jared Calvert of Alpha Chi Rho. Stay tuned for that and much more here on RMU Focus.
But my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. So when I met Nornice, she started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
All right, I am now here with Jared Calvert from Alpha Chi Rho. Jared, tell me a little about you. Where's the audio?
In my class, out of about 250 up here, as you said, I'm a member of Alpha Chi Rho fraternity, and I'm also involved with Century Media up here.
Pretty awesome. So why did you choose to be a part of AXP?
Our current president, Jake Boydum, he actually told me to come hang out with him, heard I was coming here. So I hung out with him and met a lot of the brothers, and I don't know, I really like them. I love all of them, and I'm really glad to be part of this fraternity.
So what are some cool things that AXP does around campus?
During the fall semester, we actually have a fundraiser called Freezing for a Reason. So we sit outside of the Nicholson Fire Pit and we collect donations for Habitat for Humanities, and we camp out all day, all night. We have people pitch tents and sleep out there during the week.
Did you sleep out there during the week?
Yes, and I hated it.
And you were very cold, I'm assuming.
I was very cold. I had to double up on socks. I like 4 different layers. It was fun though, just spending all night with all the brothers and talking and making memories. It was really fun.
Well, that's good to hear. Do you hold a position?
I actually do. I am a co-scholarship, which means I help out with our main scholarship chair. And what we do is we make sure grades are intact. We hold study hours so people devote time to work on schoolwork to keep their grades up, because without that GPA, you can't be a member of Alpha Chi Rho, so I help out in making sure people maintain their GPAs.
So how long are the study hours and how are they really conducted?
Well, we have one main chair and then 2 co-chairs. The main chair devotes most of his time to make sure people are attending, and he's the one that really looks at the grades and enforces it. Me and the other co-chair, we help out when maybe he's not available to do something, and we'll definitely help out towards the end of the semester and around midterms whenever grades really kick in.
Good to hear the academics are a big part of it. Do you have any upcoming events that you'd want to share with us?
Oh yeah, well tonight we have our final rush event for the spring semester. We are playing basketball at John Jay Gym at 7 o'clock.
The hot gym, John Jay, it's going to be popping, right?
Yes, and we invite as many people as they want to come on, hang out with the brothers and play some basketball. And in the talks, we are also trying to get Alpha Churro. So we're trying to fundraise by making churros and doing that, but that's still in the works and it's not official yet.
Yeah, it goes along well with the name. Tell me a little bit about Airband too.
Airband is something all the Greek life participates in, and that'll be held towards the end of the semester as well. I can't spoil too much because it's still in the works, but I really like our theme, and I really hope that we can take home a W this year.
That's fair. That's good to know. So what else does AXP do internally to keep members engaged?
Well, aside from the study hours, we also like to do a lot of community service. We have a lot of talks right now about going to like elderly homes and hanging out with them, making food, stuff like that. And we also do highway cleanups because University Boulevard actually is under our name. So once or twice a semester, we like to go out, clean up the highways, and it's a good social event too, aside from just working on cleaning up and making sure the highway looks nice.
So finally, what makes AXP stand out and make it special above the rest of the Greek life organizations, in your opinion?
Ooh. Well, Alpha Chi Rho, we're not the biggest fraternity, but we are also pretty well known around campus, and I just think that our bond and our brotherhood stands out compared to all these other fraternities and sororities on campus.
Jared, I want to thank you for coming along with me.
Thank you, Austin.
Jared Calvert from Alpha Chi Rho. I'm Austin Bechtold. Let's send it over to John Hanna.
Thank you, Austin. Now I'm here with Nick Hederick. Thanks for coming on today, Nick.
Oh, thank you for having me, Jonathan.
So you're involved in a little bit of a radio show called Where's the News?
It's not as much of a radio show as it is a radio experience.
Now, who do you do this with?
I do it with 2 of my best friends on campus and in Century Media, 2 very people I hold very close to my heart, Big John Blinn and Garrett Roberts, bless his little heart. Just 2 great co-hosts, very smart people. They make me look so dumb, but it's okay because they really carry the conversation. I'm there for comedic relief and to talk sports.
So it's Where's the News? Obviously, Garrett's the A&E editor. John Blinn is the news editor.
And I'm the sports editor.
Yes. So what does a typical show entail?
Like I said, it's an experience. It's not the same thing every episode. Yesterday, we interviewed an up-and-coming musician, Mackenzie Nicole. We're interviewing the owner of the Big Shot Bob's franchise in Coraopolis next week. And I mean, we'll each come in with a couple stories for all of our sections, and we'll just talk about them for around 15, 20 minutes apiece. If one, bigger event's happening in one person's section than the other, we'll obviously spend a little more time on that. But overall, it's just, there's something for everybody.
And how long have you been doing this?
We started about midway through last semester. A few trial runs. The first episode never made air. Maybe one day I'll be released and leaked, maybe, if we're big enough to where we can leak things. I don't know. Or you can subscribe to our OnlyFans, which we're working on. I don't know. I think, it's been a semester and a half, though, and it's getting better with each episode. I think we're meshing a lot better than I think we started off as. But it's a lot of fun, and I think everyone should tune in.
Now, is there any chance for a special guest, potentially someone that is a host of RMU Focus, not named Austin Bechtold?
Well, I've considered having Nate Brysinger on a couple times, maybe.
He doesn't. He works prompter for the show. He doesn't host it.
Well, I know. Wasn't he on last semester?
No.
Oh, well.
He was never on.
Well, I don't know what I'm thinking of, but I don't know. I certainly wouldn't have John Hanna come on it. Actually, maybe. We'll see. That's not really my decision. I don't make the decisions. Garrett makes the decisions, and me and John follow. It's kind of, like the famous guy from that really old book that had people following him while he did things like turn water into wine and stuff like that.
Wasn't that 1984?
No, no. You're thinking of A Christmas Carol.
Ah,
Yeah.
I thought, okay.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to listen to this podcast, or this radio show in general, where would I go to do
Well,
that?
this radio experience is found on Podbean. We're trying to get it on more notable platforms so people don't have to listen on Podbean and only Podbean. But I mean, we're working on getting it everywhere. You can follow our social at where's_the_news on Instagram or where's_the_news on Twitter. And we have a lot of fun there. We speculated on, what Mr. Peanut was going to do in the Super Bowl. We have bets. We watched all the Star Wars movies. I mean, we have a good time. And like I said, it's an experience. Jimi Hendrix is not the only one that has an experience. Where's the News is an experience.
Well, thank you, Nick.
Thank you,
Thank
Johnny.
you to our
Thank you so much.
Don't
Mr.
call me
Hanna.
Johnny. Thank you to our resident.
Don't call me late for dinner.
No, I won't. You're
There you
our
go.
resident Macaulay Culkin impersonator.
Thank you. You're a resident TV host impersonator, so it's good to see you.
And for more Where's the News and many other sorts of RMU radio programming, you can visit RMU Central Media's Podbean account or just RMUCentralMedia.com. Click the little radio tab. That'll get you to all our podcasts and radio shows. And coming up after the break, Austin will be back in here, and we're going to just be talking about what's the places to be in Pittsburgh and RMU for the next week. Stay tuned here on RMU Focus.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Love that interview with Nick Hedrick, John Hanna.
Thank you. Always a great interview.
Always got to check out Where's the News, but some other places to be able to check out at RMU this weekend are the John Jay Gym for the Alpha Cairo Basketball Rush event. I talked to Jared Calver a little bit about it earlier. It's at 7 p.m. Also, check out Don't Dress for Dinner at the Massey Theater in the Dry Tech event with no actors. And finally, on Sunday, Yorktown and the Office of Residence Life is hosting a treat yourself event in the Yorktown Westinghouse Ballroom with free food to celebrate Valentine's Day, just being around the corner.
Now, there's obviously stuff to do at RMU, but there's also stuff you can do outside of the campus, and PPG Paints is hosting Monster Jam this week. That's Monster Jam.
Monster Jam.
Yes, tonight at 7, tomorrow 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and then Sunday at 1 o'clock, all at PPG Paints. I went to a Monster Jam event when I was about 7. One of the best experiences of my life. And then next Saturday, 11 to 3 at the Phipps Conservatory out near Shenley Park, there's a Tropical Forest Cuba Festival featuring live music from Noel Quintana and the Lantern Crew, Cuban food samples from Cilantro and Ajo, learn salsa dancing.
Wow.
And it's free with conservatory admission, so I'm sure that'll be a great, even if you don't know anyone Cuban, it's a Cuban food is amazing.
John Hanna, I want to see you learn salsa dancing.
Well, maybe.
I want to see that. All right, also next week, there are multiple neat events to check out on campus. So on Wednesday at noon at the Center for Global Engagement, the Center for Global Engagement will host Rooney Scholar Class 4L to examine changes from young life to old age. Also, Don't Dress for Dinner officially kicks off on Thursday at the Massey Theater and runs through Sunday. The show call is 6:30 for the first 3 nights and 1:30 to close on Sunday afternoon.
Well, I know we were talking about places that happen, but places to be as well.
Yeah.
My place to be, it's got to be RMU hockey. Men's hockey's taking on RIT this weekend, and it is a huge event. RMU lost their past 4. This is a great chance for them to, go up in the standings. And it's also the Saturday game at 7 o'clock. Zeta Tau Alpha is hosting Pink the Rink night, so they're selling 50-50 tickets. There's a raffle, and they're just having a bake sale to help support breast cancer, which is a big cause. I know that's really what
very important cause.
Yeah, I know that's really what the Zetas are for. They do a lot of stuff with the Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation, and it's also obviously Pink the Rink. So make sure to wear pink when you head down to the island this Saturday at 7 o'clock to see RMU take on my hometown RIT Tigers.
Yeah, you mentioned men's hockey. They really need to bounce back this week.
They do.
But there are many cool events that you should check out here on the campus of RMU that are definitely worth your time. There are so many that you should check out.
Yes, there are. And I know there's too many to talk about.
There really are.
Yeah, check out Sign On to Revolution. There's millions, not millions, but hundreds upon hundreds from just small things like, there's the Agrarial Science Club. They're having meetings. RMU Central Media, we're hosting meetings.
We have our own meetings, of course.
Yeah.
Always accepting new members. And John, I wanted to talk about it because it's very relevant today. 2-hour delay, lots of snow. What was your reaction when you looked out the window and saw all that snow after going to bed and there was nothing?
I'm used to it. I'm sorry. I'm from New York. This is nothing. We'd have snow in this weather. And you messaged me earlier today asking 2-hour delay if all classes were pushed back or if it's just
the high school schedule. 2-hour delays is different from the college schedule, and I haven't had a 2-hour delay, so I don't know.
It's supposed to snow all this weekend.
It is. We just saw the weather up there.
It's a great chance. Get some sleds. You can go right down the Washington Hill. I did that last year when it was actually fully canceled for a day. Just grab some sleds down that Washington Hill. Great time.
I had a class canceled today. I was pretty surprised. Had a class that I knew was not going to get canceled, and of course it didn't. But just going through the snow and having my clothes completely making me look like Frosty the Snowman was a pleasurable experience, I guess I can say.
See, I knew my class wasn't going to get canceled because it starts at 10.
My 10 o'clock class did get canceled, but my 11 did not.
Well, obviously this isn't canceled. Nathan Galderisi, unfortunately not here. He's been snowed in.
Yes, Nathan Galderisi just cannot get here. The roads are not allowing him to. But hey, we're here. We're here to put the news on.
We're the only ones that matter.
We're the ones
that bring the news to you.
We're the talent. We bring the news. We put the microphone in the magnifying glass right here, focusing on RMU.
Pretty much Washington Hall.
Yeah, and the whole campus here. We got Joe Walton in the background. There's the event center.
Yorktown's somewhere down here. I don't know.
Yeah, John Hanna, you better catch that shuttle. What, half an hour late today?
No, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, but that does it for another edition of RMU Focus. For everyone upstairs and in the studio, I'm John Hanna.
And I am Austin Bechtold. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend.